Hello, yes, even on Christmas Day I'm doing one of these bloody things. But I thought I would share the joy that is the experience of flying the Type-7. Yeah, I went and got myself one of those. Now, I have already upgraded it fair amount, to be honest. Let's go straight to the outfitting. So I got rid of the two pulse lasers and filled the hard points. They're all small hard points with gimbaled multi-cannons, and to buy myself some precious seconds in the in any interdictions. I've got the ECM, point defense and chaff launcher. The last one's empty because I would put a heatsink launcher there, but neither of the systems I go to have one. Now if you go into the internals, as you can see I've upgraded pretty much everything, though not necessarily by a huge amount. Power plant is at A, so that's top of the shop. Thrusters are at D. All of the D upgrades were bought purely to save mass. Frameshift drive is A. These are all Ds. I've maxed out all of my cargo capacity. Shield generator is a D5. You actually start off with a class 4 shield generator, and the class 4 can actually shield this much mass. It can shield 713 tons, so I'm only just within the limit of a class 4. But of course if I switch this D5 for a 4 and then doubled up this cargo rack capacity to 32, it would then be over the top of what a class 4 can shield. So I've got a D5 that can shield over 1,000 tons, so I've got no problems as far as the shield's working. Now when I first got this ship, I only needed to upgrade the frameshift drive to a B, and then with everything else as Ds, I still had the 15 ton or 15 light year rather frameshift range, although I had to remove everything here. So I had no defences and no weapons in the hard points. So that was the drawback. Thankfully, since getting this ship, I've only been interdicted once. However, as I will explain during the first flight, that loadout with the B frameshift drive and everything else in Ds was really not very good at all. So right, I've got the course set. If you watched the previous video you'll know where I'm going. It would help of course if I bought my cargo. Now the cargo is going to take pretty much every last credit I've got. Okay, not quite every last credit, but 1.8 million to buy in the cargo, leaving me with just 155,569. Not a lot, especially when you consider that the rebuy cost for insurance is 942,316. Now I have already done some cargo runs with this thing. As you can see, my highest single transaction is 234,900, which is not bad at all, and my average profit is jumping up quite a bit again, 51,584. You may have also noticed up here, credits spent on outfitting 42.5 million. Now that is extremely distorted because it doesn't take into account selling them again, and I was experimenting with several different upgrades on this ship, and a lot of time buying A-rated ones to see how they would affect things. So I was often spending 5 million at a time and then just getting rid of it again. So the credit spent on outfitting, although it says 42.5 million, that's wildly exaggerated. I certainly don't have anything like that fitted to this ship, although I have upgraded it enough so that, okay, I'll have to show you when I'm at the next station, but if I was to now buy a Imperial Clipper, I would get credits back. Anyway, enough of that. As you can see, typical Lakon design with this glass cabin that allows you to see all the way around. And I don't know about you, I fucking hate this cabin design. I can't stand it. I want to actually look, you know, and feel like I am in the cabin of a ship, not in a fucking glass cage or something. So I hate it, and I'll be glad that this is the last Lakon ship I get, because I have no intention of getting a Type 9, and hopefully, you know, I won't have to stomach this stupid, you know, cockpit design ever again. Anyway, let's go.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Now, taking off like that, thrusting upwards, the ship seems fairly okay. It moves at a decent rate. Unfortunately, once you are thrusting out of here, you soon realise it really isn't what you would call manoeuvrable. This is it, moving around here, so it is a lot slower and a lot more sluggish than a Type 6. I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than a Type 9, but that's not difficult. But it takes a hell of a long time to actually get out of the mass lock range, so we can actually hyperspace. Now we can. Now, what's the temperature reading? It's currently at 36.
Frameshift drive charging.
It is shot up. It's now at 96 as we finally engage hyperspace, now 97. And that is with an A-rated power plant. And that is why my initial loadout was awful, because I had a D-rated power plant and I was getting temperatures of 107% when I was waiting for the frameshift drive to charge, and that was with a D, so I dread to think what an E is like. So I had to get that sorted out fucking sharpish, because that is diabolical. So, as you can see, it's also still very slow and very sluggish, even in Super Cruise mode. Again, it's not as bad as a Type 9 for that, but it's not very good at all. I don't know what improvements there will be with, you know, better thrusters. I don't think they're going to make an enormous difference. I mean, sure, they will help, but not by a vast amount, I'd have thought. And also, of course, because I have the A-rated frameshift drive and everything else that, well, isn't an A rated is a D rated, it means that when I upgrade them I'll be adding mass and my jump range will be reduced. But as long as it allows me to jump 15 light years, that's all I'm interested in. So as long as it stays within that, I'm okay. Now I'm praying I don't get an interdiction here. I've only had one interdiction attempt since I got the Type-7, and I absolutely did evade it. There was no way I was going to hang around and you know, submit to any of them while I'm in this ship. But particularly at that time, because that was a time when I had no weapons of any kind fitted. So yeah, that was no fun. This is actually the first cargo run I've done with a cargo hold full with gold. I've done plenty of cargo runs with the bio-reducing Lakon on the way back. That nets me a profit of exactly 99,000. So whatever profit I make here, add 99,000 to it, and that's how much you get for a round trip. I suspect it's pretty good. Because despite all its bad side, you're about to see and hear another bad thing about this ship. Is that not the most pathetic sounding ship engine you have ever heard in any game, let alone in this?
Docking request granted.
This is, you know, a huge freighter that's carrying 200 tons of cargo, and yet it comes out of hyperspace and it sounds like a fucking mobility scooter. You know, it sounds like it has the power of a Sinclair C5. So yeah, that is absolute shite. But I say the Type-7 is not all bad. 200 tons of cargo, you know, capacity, and if you want to take the risk with the shield generator by either having a smaller one or none at all, you can carry more. But in all the time I've been playing Elite, throughout the beta and the gamma versions as well, I've only twice had more cargo capacity than that, and they were both during beta 1. I had the Anaconda, which had 228 tons, so not much more, but still more. Of course in beta 1 you couldn't upgrade the cargo capacity, it was just what you were given.
Docking successful.
And also in beta 1 I had the Type-9, which had 440 tons of cargo capacity. But they are the only two times that I've had more, you know, haulage capacity than I do now. So another thing, the integrity goes down a lot slower than the ASP did. And when you are able to repair it, it's still in the 2000s, not all the way up to the 4000s as it was in the ASP. So it does have some good points. So right, to the commodities market. Sell my 200 tons of gold, 1,295 profit per ton. So 259,000 profit. So if this was the return trip, I make a total of 358,000 credits in profit there and back. Not bad. That does mean that although I won't be able to do it now, I will be able to buy upgrades relatively often for this ship, or at least certainly a C upgrades. So yeah, the profits certainly help. If we go to the shipyard, I'll show you the Imperial Clipper here, which as you can see it's letting me buy. I can't now because I've got a full cargo hold, but I will get back 453,000 credits, so not a huge amount. So I'll have about 2.5 million plus what's in my cargo hold if I buy the Imperial Clipper, which I'm not going to, at least not just yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this ship for a fair while until I can afford the Python, but I need 34 million, so only another 32 million odd to go, or I may say fuck it and get the Imperial Clipper. I don't know. I'll have to think that one over. But I mean, that trade route has now taken my average profit up to 51,962, so it made quite a difference to the average, and of course that is my highest single transaction and is likely to remain my highest single transaction for quite some time, unless the profit margin on gold goes up a bit, which is not all that likely actually. The price on gold keeps dropping all the time. Let me just check, did I buy? Yeah, I did. So let's do the return leg then. Back to Lyabes. Here we go. Now, one pleasant surprise is that launching off this large pad in Coriolis stations is quicker than off a small or a medium. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm certainly not complaining about it, because it takes too fucking long on the small and the mediums. So well, I'll get out of the way of the Cobra, but this is as far as I'm moving over. Now, I mean, the Type-7 is, yeah, it's a fucking hideous looking ship, and bearing in mind I'm in Imperial space and the Empire values the aesthetics or aesthetical side of anything much more than they value technology. So I'm all surprised that the Type-7 hasn't been banned from Imperial space altogether. They seem to be turning a blind eye to that one. Right, here we go, at last. Now, Christmas Day, and of course it's today that my fucking lighter is packed up. You know, that was fucking quick compared to what it's been like the rest of the day. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but basically the reason I'm playing this is to escape Puss in Boots that's on telly downstairs. So I had to get away from it somehow. So on went Elite, because I still haven't got me Dragon Age Inquisition yet. I'll get that in a couple of days, assuming the banks are open again on either tomorrow or, oh shit, tomorrow's Friday and then it'll be Saturday, so we close then, so it's going to be fucking Monday before I can put my money in the bank and actually be able to get it. fuck's sake. Maybe I'll see if I can borrow someone's debit card and give them the cash. Because, okay, I don't mind playing Elite Dangerous despite all its monumental number of flaws and features that are missing and bugs and the fact it's unfinished and every other fucking thing wrong with it. But I would much rather be playing Dragon Age Inquisition. It's hard to imagine why I would rather be playing that after I've given it just such a glowing, you know, review of Elite Dangerous there. And speaking of reviews, as we get the pathetic engine sound again. Yeah, speaking of reviews, yes, I am fully aware that I haven't done my review of this yet. Stop fucking asking me, I'll do it when I can be bothered. And no, I don't know when that is. So to sum up then with the Type-7, it's a fucking horrible ship to fly. It has massive heat problems, so regardless of what your jump distance is, you have got to make the power plant upgrade the priority, and then the frame shift drive.
Landing gear deployed.
In fact, okay, yeah, really the cargo capacity should be the priority, but no, even then you've still got to make the power plant the priority, even above the cargo capacity. There you go, nowhere fucking near the landing pad, but it says I've docked, so there you go. With the B grade frameshift drive, refueling was costing somewhere in the region of 2,200. So again, I dread to think what, like, you know, a D or an E grade frameshift drive, you know, would cost you in terms of refueling. And there you go, so just as I say, 99,000 profit for that one. So the profit margin on the return trip, you know, there and back, is seriously good. That is really about the only good thing about the Type-7, which is hardly surprising because, you know, the thing is a freighter. It's all about bulk cargo hauling and nothing else. So, you know, if you were expecting it to be, you know, decent for something else, then I think you're being a bit delusional. So, well, there you go. Anyway, that's the Type-7. Horrible to fly, horrible heat problems, and yeah, hideous looking thing, but it makes you serious profits. So yeah, that's that one. That's the Type-7 for you. So I'm getting ready to do another run, but I'll spare you any more of this tedious backwards and forwards. So that's it. That's Commander Lakon signing off.